I was talking on Twitter the other day about how much I love myself, as per usual. Am I right? I'm right. And a few people asked me how I got to a place where I'm happy with myself. I'm confident, I believe in my own abilities and worth, would make out with myself if it was physically possible. Basically, I used to have quite low self-esteem, and now for the most part I don't. And if I can help just one person out there feel better about themselves, or just one cat, or just one pillow, you're doing a good job. Then I'll have done my duty as a human for life, and I can just live the rest of my days being a dick, because I've already done my good deed. To be fair, I was pretty much planning to do that anyway. Here is how I learned to like myself. The first thing you need to do is to stop putting yourself down. I know that it's easier said than done, but if you find yourself thinking negative things about your life, your face, your body, anything, try and just nip that in the bud. You wouldn't think those horrible things about your friends, would you? And you should be your own friend. Try to replace those things with things you like about yourself. This probably isn't something that will come naturally to you. It's something that you just have to stick at. At least try and make it so every time you think something bad about yourself, you counter it with something good about yourself. Like, oh, I'm insufferable and will never find love, but look at my hair, it's so good. Another thing that I find useful is treating yourself and indulging and having me time. That doesn't have to mean spending lots of money or any money at all. It just means kind of designating time to be with yourself and do something that you enjoy. Like today, I spent about 6 hours reading because I am worth it. Another thing to look at is kind of how you relate to other people. So I find that if I'm thinking positive things about others and saying positive things and doing positive things for other people, then it helps me feel more positively about myself. And kind of on the flip side of that, not being afraid to get rid of rubbish people in your life. Unfortunately, it's not always possible and it's not always simple. If there is somebody in my life who only brings negativity and sadness, then I get rid of them. That doesn't necessarily mean cutting them off completely and not being their friend anymore. It just kind of means removing them from my head and only spending time with them on my terms. Another thing that I find helpful is to have goals, even if they are very small goals. This year, one of my main goals was to move out, and that is happening. Well done me. But I also have lots of smaller goals because it's just nice to have things that you're working towards. Like this month, I have a goal of how many books I want to read. Then you get to have all these little achievements and go, well done. Myself, you did good. Another thing that I find helpful, we're nearly done, I promise, is demanding more from the world and the people around you and knowing your worth. For me, it's like knowing that I deserve respect, knowing that I deserve a voice, not letting other people take advantage of me or my audience, or doing free work for people. I'm constantly asked to do free work all the time because people don't really value online people as much as they should do. So know your own worth and let other people know that you know your own worth, but just don't be a dick about it. I like to pick assertive people and kind of model my behavior after them. So in a more abstract way, it's like, what would Leslie Knope do? Or what would CJ Craig do? But I also like to imagine, what would a guy on YouTube who's in a similar position to me do in this situation? Because guys aren't afraid of letting people know how much they think they're worth and demanding things. Therefore, I will not be. I'll just be polite and professional about it. And finally, the thing that I find the most helpful and that has helped me with every single thing that I have just told you about is faking it until you make it. I pretended I liked myself and I told other people that I thought I was great until I actually started to believe it. I acted like negativity from other people didn't bother me until it really didn't bother me. And I just pretended that I was confident and knew my worth until I did. It's kind of like what you're putting out there, even if it's not real at the time, ends up becoming your reality. That's magic. And science. People are often told, especially women, that it's not attractive to like yourself, and that is not true. As long as you're not rude about it and you don't treat people worse because you think you're better, then it is great to love yourself and appreciate yourself and yeah, know your own worth. So I hope some of this is helpful. I want you all to love yourselves, please. Every time I say that, it sounds dirty. I'm just gonna leave. This video brought to you by darkness, the opposite of light, because when I tried to turn my lights on, they made noises like they were going to explode. Actual footage of these events.